Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormis back again for another video today, and welcome back to the long-awaited continuation of the Washington Capitals franchise mode that I started like almost 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. It's been a very troublesome schedule recently for me, as you guys know, and yeah, I apologize, but we're here and we're back again for the off-season. We got a ton of things to do this episode, so let's do it. Let's see, Nashville moves from 12 to 2 in the lottery. What a win from them. St. Louis goes from 2 to 1, and poor Minnesota falls from 1 to 3. Anyways, we will, of course, head into the draft here. I guess, well, we should probably take a look at retired players first. So Ryan Kessler, yeah, so no one that's actually playing, I think, retires here. Maybe a goalie, though. No. Jeff Glass. The legend. Anyways, we continue on to the draft. And this will be an interesting one. This is the first draft I'm going to be doing in franchise mode this year. So, yeah, where are we going to be picking is the question. I really don't know. We have the 23rd overall selection, and one thing I noticed is that the Kings have back-to-back picks. Those are the Bruins picks. Don't mess it up. But we could always try to move up in the draft. I don't know if we really have the pieces to do so. Now, like I said, it's been a while since I've been here, so let's take a look at some things first, because we, of course, have some players that I think I may want to look at moving on from. So let's take a look at what this team can look like next season. So, of course, we have Ovi, Backstrom, Kuznetsov, Oshie, and Mantha. Those are guaranteed. Now, Wilson is honestly potentially on the block. He's making a lot of money. Kelly Yarncroc was just someone we had brought in. So that is someone we could maybe look at expanding out on. Lars Eller is someone we could definitely expand out on as well, because that cap is pretty wealthy. That's definitely something I wouldn't mind getting rid of. And I'm hoping Hendrix Lapierre and Connor McMichael can make the NHL this season. As for defensemen, of course, Carlson is going to be there. Schultz is on an expiring deal. Do I see myself bringing him back? I don't know. That is the thing. Orlov is making a lot of money, but it's only one more season after this one, and I feel like Schultz will be looking for a decent amount of money. Chilowski and Kempny. Alexiev could make the jump to the NHL, and so could Fehérváry, to be fair. And, of course, my main priority is we need to get Samsonov re-signed here this offseason. He's up to an 85, which is nice. Zachary Fucale, shout out to him for getting his first shutout and NHL victory, and I think was his first game after 10 years in the minors, so good for Zach Fucale. Of course, currently, technically, the backup for the Capitals. So, I mean, we can definitely find some trades here for some players, I think. Let's sort it by overall for now. So Justin Schultz, I think, is someone that we can look at expanding on. And let's see, can we get anything for him? Anything of note? Not overly. I mean, we could get Bobby Ryan, which I'd probably rather not. I would rather send him to the Western Conference in case he does decide to stay. Shane Wright goes first overall, of course. That is expected. I haven't even looked at the draft class. I guess that's something I should probably do as well. Liam Christensen, I don't think is real. Or Wesley Anthony, of course. Brad Lambert is real. Matt Savoie is also real. Reginald Niedermeyer, probably not real. David Jiricek is real. Never heard of him. Connor Geeky. SS Ikola. Louis Cousino. Danny Zilkin. Sick name. That guy's Canadian, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a few players I recognize, but for the most part, I think that's a decent amount of actual computer-generated players that EA has made. I just want to check something, guys. 1 second, please. Alright, we're good. Never mind. We continue on. So, let's see if we can find a trade for Justin Schultz. We're definitely going to have to look at some defensive help this offseason, though. Some cheap defensive help, at least. if that's something we can find. So yeah, I think I'm going to send him to Chicago. We'll get a 6th this year's draft, which is alright. See, our D-core is struggling right now. Matt Irwin is a player that I wouldn't mind looking on from as well. Just we might as well get a draft pick for him. We'll take the Jets pick this season. You know, it's an expiring contract that we can look at expanding on. All right, then to forwards. Who was here? Kelly Yarncroc. I mean, is someone I wouldn't mind bringing back, but I don't know how much money he's going to want. And, I mean, someone like Tom Wilson would be interesting to see what's out there. We get Kevin Shattenkirk and Josh Manson. There's some defensive help. Josh Manson expires this season, though. We could bring Kevin Shattenkirk back. 2/3 from Nashville, a third in Nikita Zaitsev, but I do not want that contract at all. 2/3 from the Kraken, 2/3 from Winnipeg. It'd be interesting for him to go to the Kraken. I don't really want draft picks. I feel like I would rather someone to help us out. I mean, the Shattenkirk-Manson trade is interesting, but I'm going to decline it for now. I decline all those trades and they just come right back. I mean, Shattenkirk honestly doesn't seem like a bad option to have on this team, but I'm not sure. What about Eller? Could we expand on Eller? Yes, but again, it's just for draft picks. So I think we're gonna keep on to those two for now, and we're going to sim to our pick after Nashville makes their pick here. I'm guessing it should be in a few seconds. Yeah, so there's Christensen, an offensive defenseman. Again, I don't know if he's real or not, but here we are down at the 23rd overall pick. I don't know who we should be going for. I feel like we should be looking at a defenseman. So we've got Denton, Mateychuk, I'm not sure. Alexander Lazarev, who looks to be a guaranteed top 4. So I think I'm going to go for that. And yeah, he is an offensive defenseman. A 68 overall, medium top 4 out of the draft is pretty solid. Some decent stats. Look at those passing and deking stats. Very high discipline. A low offensive awareness. A very high defensive awareness. That's absurd. He's a very weird player, but that's okay. We'll sim to our next pick. Sim to the 2nd round here. Adrian Harvey, Lou Taylor. You know what? Adrian Harvey or Antoine Verreau kind of piqued my interest just because the elites. I don't know if that means they'll actually be elites. There's obviously a very low chance, but we're going to go for Adrian Harvey. He's a low top 6 forward, which honestly isn't that bad, I don't think. Well, I know it's not that bad. Julian Lutz, absolutely unknown. But you guys know me and my Germans. For some reason, I just have an attachment towards Germans. He's a medium top 9, which isn't great, but isn't horrible. And we sim to the 100th overall selection in this draft. Rick Jonas has an elite tag. None of these players are going to be very helpful for us because we have no idea if they're any good or not. Topi Roney was not. We sim to our next pick. This first-year draft seems to always be relatively poor, to be fair. Liam Sjostrom, a goalie. Not that we really need a goalie, but it's always nice to have some backup just in case. A medium fringe isn't terrible. And we have a ton of picks here in the 4th round. Let's go for Stuart Roloffs, an overager. He is a medium top 9, but the 59 overall is pretty low for an overager. Robert Jacobson, sure. I'm not really looking into any of these players very much. We sim to the 6th round. And yeah, now we're really running out of any information about these players. So let's just sort it by potential. See if there's anyone out there that we can get an almost guarantee. Robert Bacco. Let's go for him. He might be a top 9. He will be a top 9, a low top 9. But nonetheless, that still works. And then we've got one pick left. Now, I am curious to know if Jacob Stewart is available. So that is someone I would like to pick, just because why not? He's my friend in real life, and I gotta get him some support. Oh, he's not here, so perhaps he has been drafted, or is in free agency, but I'm guessing he might have been drafted, which I really hope he gets drafted this year. It is his last year of eligibility. So let's see if he was drafted. I don't see him yet. Not looking good. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? He might not be a center in this game. He might be listed as a winger. I really don't know. He is a center, but let's just see if we can find him. No. Alright, well, that's alright. Let's take a look at potential again, see if there's anything out there. Take a chance on the young Nico Norinen, the Finnish player, medium bottom 6. Is not great, but it is better than an AHL top 6, I guess. And we have the second last pick of the draft here. We're going to go for Ashton Bruin, the goaltender, a medium backup. And there we go. That'll be the end of the draft. Wow, a low top 4 there to end it out from Vegas. We had a ton of draft picks there. Do they turn into anything? I'm not sure. But before we move on to the actual re-sign phase, we got to see if we are going to be able to get Ilya Samsonov under a contract here. You know what? That's actually not bad. He wants 2 years at a decent price. But honestly, I'm going to try 3 years, I think. And offer him a little bit more than what, or a little bit less than what he's asking for at 3 years. I think that'll be nice to have him under a 3-year contract. Phoenix Copley does not want an extension. I'm going to offer him a contract, but I'm going to cut it back quite a decent amount. We'll see if he takes it. It's just for 1 season. Let's see. Anyone else out there that is expiring? That is important. Dennis Chilowski is honestly a pretty important player to me. Feel like he could be someone that could truly grow for us, but Jesus, I am not paying him that much money. That is absurd. Even at the cheapest he wants or the cheapest he was looking for is 5.1. That is absolutely absurd. I mean, if you take a 1-year deal at $4 million, then you can have the money, but I am not paying him that much money. That is absolutely insane. Brett Leeson, let's see if we can get him under a contract. He wants NHL money for literally no reason, but I'll offer him a little bit less than what he's asking for, which is probably not going to work out, but that's okay. Lucas Johansson also looking for NHL money. This is really, really stupid. All right, well, let's sim a day. We'll sim to our next, event, I guess. Chilowski rejects. I'm not really surprised. Samsonov renews, which is obviously ideal. Copley rejects, and Leeson does want an extension, but he wasn't a fan of that one. So, let's go to the re-sign phase. We'll see if we can re-sign some of these players. So what will our team look like right now if we purely sort it by forward? So Ovi, Backstrom, Kuznetsov, Mantha, Oshie, Wilson. Yarncroc is someone we do have to re-sign, and is someone I really wouldn't mind bringing back to this team. I could get him at a pretty cheap deal. I think I'm going to go 2 years, though. I'm going to try 2.25. I honestly think that's a very solid contract. He is in the bottom 6. He'll be the middle 6 at least, maybe not bottom 6. We've got a pretty solid forward core here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, yeah, I mean, assuming Yarncroc re-signs, we're pretty good there at least. Daniel Sprong wants us a decent amount of money. Not a fan of the term, though, so I'm going to lower it a little bit. See if he'll take 1.7 for 2 seasons, which He's going to be a player that's in the bottom 6. Brett Leeson is looking for less money than what he asked for previously, which is good. I'm going to go for a 1-year deal on him. Hendrix Lapierre, I'm really hoping he can make the jump to the NHL. Nick Dowd is the player I'm going to be releasing. Michael Vecchione, I'm also going to be releasing. Mallinston, who is this? Beck Mallinston. Alright, did alright in the AHL. We'll offer him a contract. We do need players to fill out that AHL team, of course. Is that Sam Gersich? Shane, sorry, Shane Gersich. We'll offer him a contract. He's looking to come back. Why not? We'll give him the 2-year deal instead of a 1-year. Pino is looking to be released, so he can be. Riot can be released. Snively can be released. What a sick name. Oscar Magnuson, 67 at 20 isn't terrible, and a low top 6. Honestly, not a bad contract, or not a bad prospect that we can give an ELC to. Adrian Harvey, he could play in the AHL for us. We can offer him an ELC. I'm guessing Hakon Henelt could also play for us, but I'll wait on him. Hughes, we will release. 60 at 21 is pretty poor. And then what about defenseman now? So, back to the top. Of course, we have Carlson and Orlov, and Chilowski and Kempney. So, Chilowski, what is he looking for now? It's gone down a lot, thankfully. I'm going to offer him a 1-year deal. He still doesn't want to re-sign, so I won't be able to cut the price down that much. But a 1-year deal for him wouldn't be that bad. And Kempney is someone we're going to have to bring back as well. He's looking for a decent amount of money, though. I'm going to sign him to a 1-year deal as well. We'll see if he'll accept that. So what is this? Christian? Yeah, Christian Jaros. Honestly, could be a solid defenseman. He's probably going to be in the AHL. But he could make the jump to the NHL. Lucas Johansson does want an extension, but at an absurd amount of money. So I'm going to give him a 1-year deal. And I'll give him a little bit more than what he's asking for in a 1-year. Because that 2-year deal is ridiculous. Who is this? Tobias Geiser. A pretty big defenseman, my god. You know what? We'll sign him. Could turn into something in the AHL. Who knows? And then Martin Hugo Haas. 68 at 21 honestly isn't that bad. And again, we'll give him a contract for the AHL team. Alexander Lazarev, I think we're going to sign. I mean, you know what? Actually, no. We'll keep him unsigned for now. Maybe next year we'll sign him, though. And then let's go to the goalies. Phoenix Copley doesn't want an extension. So I don't know if I'll be able to get him under a contract. I'll give him a little bit more, or a little bit less than what he's asking for. And Bjorklund, 65 at 20 at a medium starter, honestly isn't that bad. So sure, let's try to sign him. I'm gonna lower his ELC a little bit, but let's advance today and see who said, or what their decisions, or what the decisions have been made by these players. So Christian Jaros renews. Daniel Sprong rejects at the dollar value. Chilowski renews. Well, that's nice. Kelly Yarncroc rejects. He is still looking to re-sign. Kempney accepts. Johansson accepts. Mallinston accepts. Copley rejects. Leeson accepts. Gersich accepts. Haas accepts. Bjorklund accepts. Magnuson accepts. Geiser accepts. Harvey accepts. So there we go. So most of the players did accept. So Phoenix Copley, I don't really want to give him that much money at a 2-year deal, but I'll give him a 1-year deal. And then Kelly Yarncroc is someone I do want to bring to this team. He only wants a 1-year deal now, which is fine. I'm going to lower it by $200K. We'll see if he'll accept that. And Daniel Sprong now wants a 3-year deal. He's looking for a lot of money. That's my issue. He's looking for a lot of money. I don't really want to give him. I'm going to try a 1-year deal again. Give him a little bit closer to his asking value. We'll see if he takes a 1-year, because he does take a 1-year. Yarncroc rejects, and so does Copley. So, again, we're going to try to offer Yarncroc something. 2.5 for 1 year. How about that? will that work for Yarncroc? And as for Phoenix Copley, I mean, I think I'm going to release him. He doesn't want an extension, and he does not seem to want to come back. So let's see if we can get Yarncroc. Yarncroc does renew. So there we go. We've got a pretty interesting team. A lot of players are coming back. I probably should do something about those coaches and scouts, but I'm not going to right now. So yeah, we do need to get some players, of course. So let's see what this team will currently look like. We do not have many players signed right now. So let's see. Forwards, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you know what? I think I'm going to bank on LaPierre and McMichael growing to be in the NHL. Although Johansson Falby could definitely make that as well. I mean, so could Leeson. So we've got 4 players probably battling it out for the final 2 positions on this team. So I don't think I'm going to sign a forward. Although I could sign some AHL forwards. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11. I think 11. We could sign a few AHL forwards. As for defensemen, we do need some help defensively. So Carlson and Orlov. I think I'm going to do Carlson and Chilowski, and then Orlov is a lefty, right? So I really need 2 right-handed defensemen. Christian Jaros is a righty. Is he going to make the team? I don't know. Alexander Alexiev is a lefty, and he could be making the team. So I guess really I need for sure 1 defenseman. Yeah, I'd say for sure I need at least 1 NHL defenseman and a backup goalie for the NHL. So let's see what we can find in free agency. I'm not sure what free agency looks like in this game. Adam Fox is in free agency. He's a 90 overall. Of course, an RFA. We don't really have any money to offer him a contract. I didn't really plan on it, though, to be fair. You know what? Before we sort it by forwards, let's just sort it by potential. See what's out there. Emil Brandstrom is also out there. A very interesting player that, honestly, we could probably get... Wow, we could probably get Emil Brandstrom. Would this be totally cheese? I don't know. I mean, he's a medium elite at 22 years old, and we get a very good young defenseman for the future of this team. And I know I said I need a righty, but this could be huge. It would just be a second for a 2-year deal of Emil Brandstrom at $4 million. But honestly, I think I would rather do a 3-year deal. How much would $5 million be for 3 years for Emil Brandstrom? A first and third. That's tough. How low do I have to go for it to be just the second still? No, you know what? I don't know. This is really tough, actually. Ideally, I would love to be able to get him on a 3-year deal, but without giving up a first and third. But honestly, I feel like it'll be worth it. Yeah, you know what? Let's try it. Fuck it. Why not? Let's go huge already in this series. Let's try and get Emil Brandstrom here. $5 million for 3 years, potentially giving up our first and third for this season. That gives up a lot of our cap space, but screw it. Who knows what could happen? We will have to wait and see. Like I said, I don't really need any forwards, but I am going to take a look at some players that are out there. Johnny Gaudreau, Claude Giroux, Evgeny Malkin, and Patrice Bergeron are all in free agency. We're just looking for some AHL players that could help our AHL. See if there's anyone that's out there. Zachary Shenishin maybe could, although he's looking for NHL money, so no thank you. Isaac Ratcliff is someone you guys know I love from last year. He was fantastic last year. He's an RFA, so I mean we'll offer him a contract, but chances are he will go back to Philadelphia. Jonathan Dahlin Joachim Bleichfeld as well. 2 players that are really solid that could help out our AHL a decent amount. They're both UFAs, surprisingly. Joachim Bleichfield wants NHL money, though. But, I mean, he could turn into an NHL player, to be fair. I don't know, though. I'm going to sort it, or continue scrolling, sorry, down to some medium top 9s. Who's that? Skylar McKenzie. An interesting option. Shane Bowers. Why is this guy a UFA? I mean, he's a medium top 9. Oh. Yeah, never mind. He wants a ridiculous amount of money. I'm okay. Not a lot of, like, great forwards out there. Cole Fonstad, though, had a fucking unbelievable season in Everett. 119 points? Holy shit. What is this guy's stats? I mean, he's got solid offensive stats. Holy shit. We're going to try to sign him. Give him what looks to be his ELC. Sure, that's absurd. Let's go to goalies now, I guess. Rask and Fleury are out there. We need a backup goalie, so someone that could be cheap, or someone that is cheap, that could be a backup for us. Keith Kincaid, obviously not looking for a lot of money. Actually, I really should be prioritizing a right-handed defenseman first. Oh, wait, Emil Brandstrom is a righty. No? Well, he is a righty, but he doesn't shoot right. Interesting. I mean, I meant a right-handed shooting defenseman. That's what I meant. Someone that could help this team out. I'm not really sure what kind of defenseman we need. I feel like we need someone that's more of a two-way defenseman. Dean Kuchan. Very well-rounded defenseman. A really well-rounded defenseman. He's not slow either. Dean Kuchan could be interesting. I'm going to offer him a contract. We'll offer him a little bit less than what he's asking for. 2 years at 1.6 honestly isn't that bad. And I feel like that's a decent player that we could have added to this team. And then let's look for some AHL defensemen to see what is out there. Eric Horth. Not bad. We can offer him a contract, might as well. Anything really that could help, I guess. Who was that? Zach Whitecloud. Never heard of this guy, but he's got very solid defensive stats. And I mean, he's basically NHL ready right now. Anyone that's got a decent overall for their age is the question. That's enough of it, or that's the end of the top 6s. What about top 7s? Nothing too special so far here either. Alright. Down to the AHL top 2s. You know what? Kosior, Landon Kosior, a 19-year-old at 56, isn't terrible. We'll give him an ELC. Why not? Alright, then on to goalies. So I think I'm going to wait to sign a goalie to see what happens with Emil Brandstrom, to see if he accepts. Landon Kosior accepts. So does Eric Horth. Alright. Some players we get to add to the team. Kuchan rejects. Dahlin accepts. Brandstrom goes back to Ottawa. Alright, so that's unfortunate. Ratcliff goes back to Philly. Fonstad accepts. So, alright, we really need to find a defenseman now. I mean, I was kind of banking on Brandstrom signing with us there, so that kind of really throws a wrench in my plans. What to do now? So like I said, I feel like I really need a right-handed defenseman. One that can be in the middle 4. I mean, PK Subban is interesting. Looking for a lot of money, but He's still got very solid stats. PK Subban to Washington. That could be interesting. Josh Manson is looking for a lot of money. I think he's a very solid defenseman, but he's looking for too much money, in my opinion. Colin Miller is an interesting defenseman, although looking for a solid amount of money. Calvin DeHaan is a really underrated defenseman. You know what? I think I'm going to go for Dean Kuchan again, but offer him a little bit more this time. I feel like I did definitely undershoot him a little bit last time, so let's try that. And I mean, really, I need someone that can play in the middle four. You know what? I mean, Subban honestly is an attractive name, of course. It's just a contract that's not very attractive. But are there other or better options? I mean, we could get John Klingberg. He's looking for a decent amount of money. And I mean, 5 years honestly is not bad, but I'd have to undershoot him a little bit, which means I don't know if he would sign. Nicoletti is crazy. I mean, he obviously just won the Norris, I believe. So good for him. Just had the best year of his life in Detroit. Man, this is tough. I really am not sure where, or how to approach this. Shit, I really don't know what I want to do here. You know what, let's try for Klingberg, but I'm gonna undershoot him a little bit. I'm gonna give him 6x5. I don't know if he'll accept that, though. I really don't think he will. But we can try it. We'll see what he says. We'll see what happens. Yeah, he does decline as kind of expected. I get an offer for Tom Wilson, but I'm going to pass up on trading Tom Wilson for now. Did I not have someone else? Yeah, Dean Kuchan. He still rejects. All right, well, he doesn't go to another team yet, at least, but he rejects again. So, again, let's go back to defenseman. Subban is still there. His price, I think, has dropped a little bit. Tony DeAngelo is an interesting player. He is an RFA, though, so... where? Oh, there. Dean Kuchan. I honestly really like this guy's stats. I don't know if he plays well or not. We're going to try 1.8 for 2 seasons. Bring in that right-handed defenseman. And again, I really feel like I need someone for the middle four. Anton Strawman. Interesting player. Very solid defensively. He actually even managed to put up more points than PK Subban. Colin Miller. Colin Miller's fast, which is nice. He wants a 3-year deal, though. Not really sure how much of a fan of a 3-year deal I am. It doesn't really change, though. You know what? Pittsburgh is also interested in him. I gotta really have my mind more open towards some of these contracts because the NHL has changed, obviously, especially the past couple seasons. People just make more money now, and I kind of gotta wrap my head around that. So let's offer Colin Miller 2.5 for 3 years. He'll get back to me tonight, so we'll see what happens. I don't think he'll accept that. Yeah, he goes to Pittsburgh. Let's wait for Kuchan. We'll see if he accepts this time around. He decides to go back to Columbus. Okay, so we are really running out of options here now. Shit. Subban is also gone now. God damn it. Well, we kind of have to go for Strawman or Edler here. Shit. Well, that's unfortunate. That did not go as planned in any way. That's terrible. Tony DeAngelo was so great, but I've heard he's such a dick, IRL. You know what? I mean, he's an RFA. It's a lot of money. Oh, thanks. I'm going to lower the lower the contract in years. We really just need defensemen right now, so a third for Tony DeAngelo isn't bad. Jason Demers isn't looking for that much money. A very solid defensive defenseman. You know, we just signed an we just approached an offensive defenseman. Let's see if we can approach a defensive defenseman as well. We'll see if Jason Demers and Tony DeAngelo will accept. Let's see what happens with these two. Can we get either of them? Hopefully both of them, ideally. Okay, DeAngelo rejects. Demers does accept, though. Okay, so we finally get a defenseman after tons of fails, or tons of failed attempts so far in this episode. Let's take a look at what our D-core will look like right now. So Carlson and Chilowski, I'll say, then Orlov and Demers, Kempney, and question mark. It could be Alexiev. I don't know, though. I mean, I could give him the time. He played very well down in Hershey last year. So he got good offensive stats. He's got alright offensive stats. He's pretty solid defensively, though. I mean, he is a good two-way, I guess. Maybe I should risk it and give him the time. I mean, our D-core is in an interesting position, to say the least. I haven't signed a backup goalie yet. I really need to do that. So, you know what? I think let's try and give Alexiev the chance in the NHL. Unless he doesn't grow at all. If he goes up to like a 78, then that's alright. We'll try it. But if not, then, you know what? We couldn't get PK Subban. Let's see if we can get Malcolm Subban. A young goalie to go with. Actually, I feel like maybe we should go for someone like a bit more of a veteran to help him out. What about Aaron Dell? Aaron Dell had a good season last year. Let's see. So Koskinen did not. Subban did. Elliott had a really good season, but he played the least amount of games. Aaron Dell was splitting starts with whoever he was, or wherever he was. I'm not sure. Let's go for Aaron Dell. 1.7 at 2 years. Honestly, isn't that bad, especially for a decent goalie that honestly put up some really good stats last season. So let's see. Actually, I guess we should really look at some scouts here. Let's see if we can hire any high overall scouts. C is the highest overall scout. Well, we can offer a WHL coach, a scout, offer a scout that is going to go to the WHL. My God, that was terrible. And so one for the Q as well, and one for Europe as well. We'll just do those three. That is alright with me. See if we can get someone to join this team at least. Let's advance a day until we find out what happens. So Apple accepts. Alright. Wilson Yarncroc must be on our trading block right now. Bush goes with another team. That was alright. Dell accepts. Okay. So there we go, guys. I think we should be good for this upcoming season. A bunch of trade offers coming in for Michael Kempney. I'm going to decline all of these trade offers for now. Alright, this is ridiculous. Get all these guys off. There we go. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better now. Alright, so we also managed to sign 2 out of the 3 scouts we had approached, which is alright. That is pretty good. I think overall this was a successful episode. We had a decent first overall selection. First round selection in the draft, which is nice. Captains and assistants aren't going to be changing, which is fine with me. And we are here and ready to look at what this team could look like. So Falby does make the team. That guy's got sick hair. Let's take a look at what the rosters will look like. So for forwards, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Connor McMichael up to an 79, which is good. Wait, did I count that right? One sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Falby can go down, and Leeson also up to a 79. He is listed as a fourth liner. I think I'm going to keep him in the AHL, though. And as for the NHL defenseman, let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3. Chilowski's up to an 82, which is nice. 4, 5, and 6. Alexiev grew to an 80, so that's phenomenal. And Johansson also grew, which is great. Which is great to see, so that's really good. We'll be under the minimum skater limit? How? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that is 12. Oh, my bad. Okay, so I did count that right. You know what? We'll bring Leeson up and we'll send Falby down for now. Johnson, Falby. And then goalies, of course, are going to be Samsonov and Nhl. Samsonov up to an 87 overall. So we've definitely got some growth from some of these players this season, which is great. I want Mantha on the top line. Oshie, Kuznetsov, and Yarncroc. I really like that line. Who do I want on that line with McMichael and Wilson? Is it Sheary? It's going to be Sheary, I guess. That third line is, or that fourth line, sorry, does not like each other. But unfortunately, it's just the way it's going to be right now. Oh my god, our right wing are very large people. 6'5" Anthony Mantha. You know what? Oshie, not as big as I thought. But he is pretty strong. Ooh, that's that second line might not be very good. Defensively, at least. Speaking of defensively, let's take a look. So Chilowski and Carlson are going to be our top pairing. Demers and Orlov, and then Alexiev and Kempny. Do I want to play Alexiev higher up? Yes, I do. But I don't think I'm going to. I mean, I could play him with Carlson, and he could be getting +2. We'd have Chilowski and Demers on the second pair, and then Orlov and Kempny on the third pair, which is pretty solid. And, of course, Samsonov and Nhl in net. I actually think this team looks really solid. You know, I was a little worried, but I think this team still looks really, really good. I'm pretty proud of this team, and I think this team could do some damage this season. So that will be the end of today's video, guys. I really wasn't expecting it to turn into a 40-minute video, so I'm sorry about that. But thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. But I ain't never been a pussy, you see.